It's the whole, like, everybody has to get married, but I feel like I'm never going to get married until I know for sure.
Yes, I'm in designer. If I see her, then I got her, bro. Yes, I am a dog with these diamonds on my collar.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Be Clear. Technically, this is the first episode, but we'll call it episode 2. So first things first, if you're watching this visually, I look like shit. I haven't slept in days. I don't know what it is. I have really bad anxiety, and sometimes it's just like overwhelming to the point that nothing will make me sleep. And when I tell you I've tried everything, I've tried everything. The only thing left for me to try is a horse tranquilizer or an elephant tranquilizer. So if anybody has one, please send one over in the mail. I need it ASAP. Thank you. So let's get into episode 2. I want to talk to you guys about stalking your exes. Okay. And this is something that everybody is guilty of. You're either stalking your ex or you're stalking your other exes. You're either stalking your ex or you're stalking your ex's new venture. So with that being said, and that's why I brought up my anxiety, I have such bad anxiety that I'm one of those people who literally cannot stalk. So if you are a venture of my exes and you ever took satisfaction in the fact that I was creeping on your shit, I got bad news for you. I don't do it. It doesn't make me happy. It just makes me more miserable, and I already got enough anxiety. So I'm not adding anything else to the pile. You understand? So that's why this episode is more advice. I'm going to give you guys some advice. I will say that every girl that my exes have dated, I have caught stalking me. Whether it be they look at my story, whether it be they accidentally like something, it's happened. And it's embarrassing. Like, you see it and you're like, oh shit. Like, look, like, it's embarrassing for you. It's not embarrassing for me, but it's embarrassing for you. So with that being said, maybe you're good at it. Maybe you're good at stalking. Maybe you don't let anybody, you don't like anything on accident. You don't watch any stories so the people can see that you're creeping. But if you do that, I'm just letting you know that it's not attractive. It's not, especially if you get caught. So if you're an expert at stalking, I'd say have at it. But if you're not, I'd say stand down. So with that, I feel like people love to look into whoever their ex is now seeing, and they like to compare themselves to them. And that's not what it should be. You should never compare yourself to anybody else, because at the end of the day, that man or that woman wasn't for you. And whatever you have to give wasn't enough for them. And sometimes you can have everything in the world to give, and it's not enough. So you never ever blame yourself. Don't blame yourself, first things first. And secondly, don't ever give the other female or the ex that power. Because by looking at their crap, you're giving them some sort of power over you and some sort of satisfaction. It's just the bottom line. So F the new chick, F the new dude that whoever your significant other is now screwing. Don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, you're you and they're them. And at the end of the day, they're going to do the same thing to them that they did to you. So in my personal opinion, and one of my best friends in the world is sitting here right now looking at me, and she could vouch for me in the fact that I cannot physically see shit if I'm bothered by it. So let's rewind to 2006, right? My boyfriend that I had for 10 years, with him till about, I'd say 2010, 2012. I think we broke up in 2012. And when we broke up, I had to delete Facebook. I deleted it. I deaded it. I have not had it back since. I have not had Facebook since 2012. And that's because not only do I not want to see everybody that's in common with him and everything popping up and all the pictures and all the new broads and this and that, and they're at Foxwoods and this and that type of shit. It was driving me insane. And I took a step back, and this is 2012 was when I realized it's just better left alone. What you don't know won't hurt you. So why go looking for things that are going to hurt you? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. And I'm guilty of it. I've done it, way back in the day, like way back in the day. We're talking before 2012. But 2012 was my realization that I gotta quit it. It's better to just not look. So with that being said, I deleted Facebook. I have not had that platform back ever since, and I don't want it because now they put sad animal shit and all kinds of depressing things happening in the world, so that just adds to the mix. So with my anxiety, I like to stay on my own page, look at my own shit, look through my friend shit, and keep it there. I don't care what my ex is doing, and if I do, and if I did at one time, I never showed it because you just can't. You can't. And so I don't know. I just think a lot of girls, everyone's guilty of it and everybody tortures themselves, But at the end of the day, if you listen to me, I will genuinely be helping you. Maybe some of you don't have anxiety. Maybe some of you don't get triggered by things like that. Maybe some of you look at your ex's new ventures and, you're shitting on them, and maybe it makes you feel better about yourself. Maybe you're not the type of person that compares yourself to others, and maybe if anything, it's uplifting you, and maybe you just want to do it. But in my own experience, let's be clear, I do not stalk you. So get it out of your head. And honestly, I can say that confidently because I know that every single one of my ex's new ventures has never caught me looking at their shit. And you want to know why? Because I've never fucking looked. Because I don't care. All right? If he was a scumbag with me, he's going to be a scumbag with you. If he was a scumbag with you, he's going to be a scumbag with another girl. It's just bottom line. People do not change. It is engraved in them when they are scumbags. If they like to fucking stick their dick where it doesn't belong, that's always going to be who they are. And you can't change it. And it's kind of like a sickness. And whoever's like that should get therapy, but they don't, So it's just, I really believe, and right now I'm at the best place I could ever be in my life because I've been broken up from my ex now for like 4 years, the last one I had. So and the one before that, it's been like 8 years. So I'm just in such a good place right now mentally that I feel like I can say to you guys, I know how it feels to be in that bad, dark place where you're devastated, where somebody that you love has fucked you over. It's very, you feel betrayed. It's the worst feeling in the world. And I can honestly say, my first boyfriend, great in many ways, but cheating was his downfall. And I'm friends with him today, and I love him to death, and I'd do anything for him. He's a great guy. But, I finally look at the situation now, and I'm like, what was I doing? Like, there's just no, life is too short to put up with that shit. I put up with that shit for 10 years, catching him lying, denying it, catching him lying, denying it. And we were kids at the time, and that's why I'm not going to blame him completely, because we started dating when we were 15 years old. So 15 to 25, those are like your years that you want to be a bunny hopper, sticking your dick where it don't belong. So I understand. It's really hard to commit to somebody at 15 years old. It really is. So for that, I do not blame him. In my second relationship, he wasn't a cheater. We just didn't go well together. So bottom line, if you're upset about your ex, and I know a lot of you out there are, the best way to get over it and take it from me is to disassociate from everything. Do not look at their shit. Do not look at whoever they're seeing shit. Do not look at their friend shit. Mute them all if you have to. Whatever you need to do to get yourself in a better place mentally. That's what's important. And I feel like you can deny it and say that shit doesn't bring you to a dark place, but it does. Because if you're upset about somebody backstabbing you and you're searching and looking into all their new crap, essentially it's bringing you down without you knowing it. And you're spending your time caring about that person and what they're doing with their life instead of caring about you and your life and getting yourself where you need to be. So, I don't know. I think everybody should work on what they have to offer. If you were a painter and your ex is now, dating a stripper, don't compare yourself to the stripper. Make what you are great and be who you are and realize that there is somebody out there for you, and maybe nobody's out there for you. I am so happy fucking single. You have no idea. I go to sleep. Well, I haven't been sleeping because I've been stressed about other shit. But when I was sleeping, I go to sleep. I lay my head down on the pillow at night with no worries. You don't have to worry about somebody cheating you, sticking their dick in somebody else, not answering your text messages. I went through all that shit. It's fucking miserable. I wasn't eating. I lost weight. Like, when you're in love with someone and they backstab you, it is devastating. I get it. But why make yourself hurt more? You're already hurting. You're already upset. They fucked you over, point blank, period. Don't look into it any further. There's just no point. There is no point. And I've learned that in my experience. So just stop. Stop it. I'm going to be honest, though. That's definitely one of the main reasons why I dislike social media the most, is because broads, yes, you broads, and men, you guys are smart, beautiful, talented, and you're wasting your time being upset about whoever you were with last. And we're all guilty of it. We all are. That's why I'm sitting here and giving this advice, is because you have no fucking idea what I've been through in my past. You know what I mean? And it definitely has had an effect on my mental health. And I finally can say, because everybody, when they break up, they're like, I need to find somebody else. I need to find somebody else. I need somebody else. Somebody else will fix everything. That is not true. Another person will not fix everything. It will not. You start messing with somebody else and you think it's fixing things, but you aren't actually dealing with your issues. And I think that in order to deal with your issues and figure out what makes you tick, what triggers you, what your insecurities are, what you can work on, all of that stuff you have to do alone. You can't do it with somebody else. So I don't agree when people get out of one relationship and they jump into another, because I don't think that, unless you really didn't give a fuck about the person you were with before, which is possible, but I feel like for me, I was seeing another guy that put who I was with before down to the lowest pedestal possible, and it still wasn't enough. And that's because you still have something, even though that person's a piece of shit, finding someone better doesn't always fix things in your mind. It might in your mind, but it genuinely doesn't. So what I'm getting at is, being alone for 4 years has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. I don't depend on anybody else. I don't want to depend on anybody else. I don't want to be involved with somebody if I'm not head over heels madly in love with them. Because if it's not a Notebook type of love, which I know sounds cheesy, but if it's not like that, what the fuck's the point? Why be married? Why put a label on it? Why be miserable? Why, because I really do. This could just be in my opinion, because I know that there are some happily married people out there who have honest husbands, honest wives. But why, if you're happy with your significant other and really genuinely confident in your own skin and with that person, why do you have to get married? Why? Yeah, it's the whole, like, everybody has to get married, but I feel like I'm never going to get married until I know for sure. For sure. Because what I've been through, the ups and downs, has made me realize that nothing is worth it unless it's for sure. Unless you know that person's not a piece of shit, they're not going to cheat on you, they're going to be a good father to your kids, they're going to be good to your parents, they're going to be good, to the people that are close to you, that is what is important. And I'll be honest, I used to go, you could call me shallow fucking Hal. I used to go for looks, I'm that type of person that I look at someone, I'm attracted to them visually, and then, I break it down. I go down to the sneakers. Oh, do I like the shoes? I'll go over to the hands. They wearing any jewelry? I like, pinky rings or bracelets. I'm into that. Are they Italian? What's their last name? And at the end of the day, I finally realized I can't have a type, and no one can have a type, because there might be some frickin', who knows, some Greek guy out there, right? I never thought I wanted a Greek, or anyone that might sweep me off my feet. And before, I'm like, if they don't have a vowel at the end of their last name, fucking forget about it. I'm not marrying them. That's it. It's got to be Cayla, Canigliaro, Sensulo, but it had to be Italian, right? That's how I felt. But now I'm starting to realize, you want your Italian last name? Fucking keep it. Marry someone that's got the last name Schmo, and you don't got to change it. So, I don't know. I know I'm kind of ranting, but the whole point of this was, don't stalk your exes. Be happy with who you are. Be happy with yourself. Build yourself. Work on what's going to make you the best version of you that you possibly fucking can. And fuck the rest. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be so much fucking happier. I promise you. So much happier. So this episode was kind of a little bit, anxiety, stalking, all that stuff and how it affects you. But next week, we'll get a little spunky with it. I'm going to have my father come on, which will be very interesting because he's one hell of a guy and very entertaining. And we'll kind of spunk this up. But it's hard to go at it alone. And, I wanted to do something that I could rant about. And stalking your exes is definitely something I not only have experience with, but have totally X'd out of my life. Point blank, period. You'll never, ever, 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 ever catch me stalking a bitch or a guy. So let's be clear on that. And yeah, guys, so next week we're going to have Mr. Canigliaro on. He's one hell of a guy, and tune in for that. Get ready. Bye, bitches.
Yes, I'm in designer. If I see her, then I got her, bro. Yes, I am a dog with these diamonds on my collar.